so the cameras, for instance, like a lot of guys, I get questions all the time. They ask me like, hey dude, like, I know what you say about cameras and I hear that, like, but I'm hunting 15,000 acres of national forest. And like, I just need like, I need to, and I'm like, dude, hey, and I got to connect with them, like even individually at the roadshow and stuff. I'm like, hey dude, I'm not saying not to run cameras. I'm not,
Mhm.
especially if you need to narrow your search down and you got to work with your time and all that stuff. Like, even if you have all season to hunt, if you got a mountain range you're looking at, by all means, narrow it down. But what I'm saying is have enough discipline to that when you get that confirmed information, then you leave the cameras in your bag. Because what will ultimately slit your throat is when you start depending on them too much. So it's like, for instance, I'm hunting with, I hunt with friends all the time. Let's say we go out to even piece of public, piece of private, big piece, small piece. We're all pretty much aware that there's decent bucks in the area. Now, when I was
Mhm.
just in Virginia, it was like, shit, man, we got 4 peaks to scout. Like, shit, there's no, you know what I'm saying? There's no knowing. It was, a 2-hour drive to the next spot. Anyway, so when you get into a spot to where there's deer and you have that confirmation, so let's say me and you, we run cameras on a couple mountain ranges, and then we pinpoint it down to about 1,200 acres that we're going to hunt. Because that's what I do. I don't like to spread myself too thin. So me and you are going on an excursion. We go up there. Um, I'm going to go scout, and I'm not bringing cameras. Because now we got a couple pictures. We know there's a couple 160s around this ridge. We know that the genetics are in the area. We know that there's good deer population. I'm going up there with nothing. I'm just going to scout, and I'm going to hunt for a week solid. You're going up there, or the other guy's going up there with 4 cameras, and he's got cell plans on all of them. And what his tactic is he's going to go lay those cameras on sign, and then he's going to use those cameras to hunt with them. Because that's the trend now. That's what people do. They put
Mhm.
they put as many as they can afford out, and then they watch and they use that to hunt. And seemingly, it sounds like a pretty damn good plan, and it can work. It does. It works all the time. People are killing really big bucks doing that. But you can also end up chasing your ass. And this is where, when we both go scout, we both go splitting a Y, and I find that hot scrape down in that bottom. I'm gonna figure out how to hunt it, and when whatever comes there, I will see him and I will kill him. You're going to find that hot scrape. You're hanging a cell camera on it. And whatever comes there, you're going to get a nice nifty picture, and then you're going to be a step behind them. And then you're going to be
Mhm.
playing
Yeah.
catch up the whole damn time. And people don't get this. Like, now, it can work. You can hop on that, and he could come back the next day, but it also can't. You know how this works. Like, there's no
Yeah.
guarantees in this stuff. I just want to know that, like, my main premise and focus is that I am always in the spot I need to be at the time I need to be. And the only way to justify that and to actually make that a reality is if I'm constantly moving, constantly scouting, and constantly laying my eyes on all the timber. Because I've also hunted near a camera and seen an absolute mega giant skirt that camera. And
Mhm.
in the past, I would pull cards and I'd be like, shit, I thought I set that camera in the proper location to where I would be tipped off if anything came through. And because of that, because I know how to set up a camera, that's what you're thinking, and you have no pictures, you're like, fuck. You, in your mind, you subconsciously do not want to go hunt that spot.
Right.
Because the intel. You get a picture you get a buck on another camera, subconsciously you're like, okay, that's the spot. Same thing is past information. I'm an advocate of coming into every year blank slate, completely blank slate. So
Mhm.
subconsciously, we think of last year when we sat that ridge on the southwest corner of our property and we smoked a giant. Subconsciously, we want to go there. Even though we tell ourselves
Mhm.
we're not going, we'll find ourselves there. We'll hang a camera there. We'll do all this shit. We'll scout it 17 times and we'll hunt. Then at the end of the season, when you didn't see shit, you're like, why did I hunt that 17 times? There was no
Yeah.
reason. There was no reason to hunt it other than the past experience. Cameras also does that same thing. It gets your mind works against you, man, and that's why I like that. So that's my difference of like, you know, cameras are fine, cameras are great, cameras are good. Know when to put them in the drawer though, and
Yeah.
also, then you got another wave of people that are now, getting 50 cameras, putting them on 800 acres, and literally surveillancing the property, and then they're just kind of like, then they're putting them in pinches, right? And then
Yeah.
when they get a trigger that a buck goes through the pinch, they're like literally ready on call and they do a big loop. And they previously scouted where the buck was like they thought was coming through or had a previous picture. Now, tell me what sort of validation one gets from that in the hunting killing experience when it's all said and done. It's watered
Mm-hmm.
down, man. And I'm not saying anything is wrong or anything's the right way, but what I'm saying is, and what people have to realize is every layer you add to this experience, you are watering it down and you get
Yeah.
less out of it. So it's like, you go from a compound to a stick bow. You go from killing them at 90 to killing them at 70. You go from, using trail cameras to physically scout. All those layers, gear too. All those things, man. You start taking away things, and then before you know it, you're sitting there with nothing. And it's you and a stick and a frickin' and you're walking out to a piece of ground you've never known before, and you go scout and you kill something, dude, that's the fucking high we're looking for. It's like, or I mean, at least the one I'm looking for. I can't speak for everybody, but I just noticed that it's you can add that stuff and it's all great. It's still a cool experience. But I'm like just trying to like just take it away, as
Yeah.
much as I
Well, I
need to.
think